Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everybody. The honorable lecturer, Mrs. Lastri Forcia, SPD, MPD, and all my friends, ladies and gentlemen. Well, every city has some great stories, like legends, folktale, etc. My city, Palembang. You know Palembang? It's in South Sumatra, also has them of course. Today, I will tell you all the story entitled The Legend of Kemaro Island. You know Kemaro Island? I'm sure you have never heard this story before, have you? So, don't go anywhere. Now, I'm going to tell you this story, and let's start this story with once upon a time, there was a kingdom in the area of South Sumatra led by a king. The king had a very beautiful daughter named Siti Fatima. Besides her beauty, the princess was also well known for her kindness and good manners. Many young men fell in love with her. However, they dared not approach her because the king wanted his daughter to marry a rich man. Then a prince of China named Tan Bun An came to the kingdom to talk about the traits of the two kingdoms. The king wanted to collaborate with Tan Bun An as long as Tan Bun An shared his private to the king. Tan Bun An agreed with the king's deal. He decided to stay in South Sumatra for several months. One day, when Tan Bun An was in the palace, he encountered Princess Siti Fatima and instantly fell for her beauty. To his delight, the princess returned his affection. The two then promised to meet each other whenever Tan Bun An came to the palace. They became lovers. After a few months, Tan Bun An decided to propose marriage to Siti Fatima. He asked the king for his daughter's hand. "Hiya, Your Majesty, I want to marry your daughter, Princess Siti Fatima. We have met for a long time and we suit each other perfectly," said the prince. The king, who was determined to marry his daughter only to a wealthy man, said at his terms, "You may marry her if you pay me the bride price." "Hiya, what is the bride price, Your Majesty?" asked Tan Bun An. "Bring me 9 jars full of gold. After the jars are in my palace, you may marry my daughter," replied the king. "Hiya, I agree. I will write a letter to my parents asking them to send 9 jars of gold to South Sumatra," said Tan Bun An. The letter from the king of China finally arrived. He was willing to send 9 jars of gold as the bride price for Siti Fatima. The lovers were overjoyed. Their dream had almost come true. A few months later, the ship from China carrying the bride price arrived. Tan Bun An and Siti Fatima went to the Musi River to welcome the ship. Tan Bun An rushed on board and immediately looked for the jar. He opened the cover of the jar and behold, instead of the gold he expected, it was filled with rotten vegetables. How frustrated Tan Bun An was! Enraged at his father, who played trick on him, he threw the jar into the water. He opened the covers of all the other jars. Seeing the same rotten vegetables, he tossed them to the water. However, when he threw the last jar, the jar crashed into the vessel wall. Pieces of gold hidden underneath the rotten vegetables vegetables were revealed. Tan Bun An was aghast. It turned out his parents intentionally put rotten vegetables over the pieces of gold to hide them from pirates. Realizing his mistake, Tan Bun An quickly jumped into the sea to retrieve the jars. Siti Fatimah saw the whole incident. She waited anxiously for Tan Bun An to come out of the water. However, he did not appear. Prince Tan Bun An, where are you? Please, return safely to me, or I will look for you in the sea, pleaded the princess. Please, princess, don't, said her niece. I must my mates. If I don't come back, there shall rise a mound in the middle of the sea. You shall know that it is our graves, said the princess. Then she jumped into the water and never came back. The next day, in the middle of Musi River, a mound appeared, rising higher and higher. It was named Kemaro Island, which means the island of drought, because it was never drowned by the river even when the water overflowed. That was the story, the legend of Kemaro Island from South Sumatra. Thank you so much. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi